In this video, I'll talk about three best financial practices that we, while building co-design labs and Power Deck, incorporated into our own business. And I think these are a few best practices that are simple to execute and will not only give a lot of predictability in terms of business, but will also give you a lot of peace of mind while building the business. I think the first best practice I introduced in the system and which really helped me was to introduce a cash flow sheet. And I literally made it a habit of managing and maintaining that cash flow sheet almost on a weekly basis. I have my calendar blogged for every Saturday where I look at the cash flow sheet and fill in the data as in what money has to come into the system, what money has to go out, and where are we standing in terms of financial standing. It honestly gives me a lot of peace of mind and also gives me a lot of predictability in terms of where are we heading and where are we going. This cash flow sheet gives me a lot of insights around what's happening in the business, and honestly, cash flow is the backbone of your business, and if you don't understand and manage that, it will be very difficult for you to run the business. So this one best practice helped me to literally be on top of my business and get a macro level view of what's happening in terms of finances. A lot of softwares like Zoho and QuickBooks will give you a cash flow report. And in fact, if you have an accountant in the office, they can even make one for you in the tally, right? My innovation with all these sheets was that I am not a finance guy. And sometimes these sheets are overcomplicated in nature. I just need the basic information and I may not need a lot of in-depth data to take decisions, which I can maybe quickly figure out in a jiffy in terms of by overlooking at the sheet that I have created to drive the business. Creation of cash flow sheet on an Excel is something that I brought into the system so that I can take those quick decisions as per my understanding and what is required for the business. So I honestly want to be in the founder's shoes and not in the accountant shoes. Now, the second best practice I want to talk about is basically building an emergency fund. Me and my co-founder Neha, and in fact, I would give credit here to Neha, she brought into the system was that she started an SIP to build an emergency fund as early as when we started the business, when business was almost 1.5 years old, and when we had some sort of predictive revenues in the system, and when we had some extra money into the system, right? We were always kind of parking the extra money we had into the emergency fund so that we don't splurge it and spend on unnecessary things. Now the fund has been built, it gives us a lot of sense of confidence and the risking ability to take those decisions in the business that we otherwise could not have taken if the money would not have been there. In fact, I want to talk about 2020 here when literally everything was going downhill and everybody was literally firing employees or stopping their salaries. In fact, we also had this concern when a few of our employees asked us that, hey, will you be firing us or will you be sacking us? And we never fired even a single person from our team that time because we had this fund, and this emergency fund, the kind of confidence this fund could give us, we gave it back to our employees and we were able to sustain the team even during those tough times. So I can't even emphasize how much this emergency fund or an extra corpus lying in the bank account can help you and can give you the mental peace that you need as a founder to build a business. Third and most important financial best practice that we have followed is we have made sure that our business is 100% compliant. Compliance in general means your taxation systems, whether it is your GST, whether it is your income tax, whether it is your TDS, and such other related things. If you're a private limited company, you might have a lot of MCA compliances as well. You must follow and adhere to all these compliances to make sure that your business is sustainable and penalty free in the long run. Here also I would like to mention that because my co-founder was a chartered accountant and brought in a lot of financial wisdom and financial knowledge in the business right early on, we were able to make sure that all our systems, especially financial systems like invoicing, vendor payments, GST, books, compliance, all of them are to the point. And we hired a consulting firm really early who could manage our accounts and made sure we are 100% compliant. This not only gave us a lot of peace of mind, but also lay down the foundation of the business for the long-term growth and scalability. If you are a company or a startup, or if you are a founder who's looking to raise funds, every VC or every angel investor who's going to put a check in your business will make sure that they take you through a due diligence process, and financial due diligence is the number one requirement to get the money from an external investor. Businesses that are non-compliant or have bad books, or the books are not in shape and cannot prove the numbers that they have shared with their investors during a pitch, will never ever get money from an external investor. And this is something a lot of founders take for granted in the early days while building the business. So while you might have a great pitch deck, while you may be a rock star in pitching, or you might have a great network of investors or founders in general, and it's easier for you to access investors, but if your books are not in proper shape and if your business is non-compliant, it will be very, very difficult for you to raise money. So to summarize, the 3 best practices that you should start following right from today: please make sure you maintain and manage a cash flow sheet. You at least start planning for an emergency fund for the rainy days, and that your business is 100% compliant. And if you're a startup founder watching this video, and if you do any of these, please let me know in the comments below, and also share what are the other financial best practices or best practices in general you're already following in your business, so that others can read the comments and learn from it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found the advice given in the video valuable, please make sure that you like the video, and also make sure to subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for watching.